I feel like this is the weirdest shirt ever, but I'm just gonna go with it. What's up guys, it's Kelly and today I have another swatch and review for you. So today we are doing the highly anticipated China Glaze You Do Hue collection. So this is a Sesame Street collaboration with China Glaze. If you guys remember, I recently did a video of their Body and Soul collection, which was a collection of beautiful summer nude shades, and I mentioned in that video that I was at first a little disappointed because I like my summer color, but this collection has 100% fulfilled those needs. We have a ton of different colors, a ton of different types of finishes. There's so much to look at in this collection and I'm really excited to show it to you guys. So let's see the swatches. So as always, I am using base coat underneath all of my swatches just to protect my natural nail. Today I am using the Cuccio base coat, which I will link down below if anybody is interested. So starting off, we've got the first color in the collection, and this is called Living in the ELMO-MENT. ELMO-MENT? ELMO-MENT. I don't know. Elmo. It's an Elmo reference, guys. Anyway, this color is a super bright, super gorgeous, I almost want to call it juicy. It's like a reddish with an orangish tinge to it, and it's full of this scattered holographic hex glitter, and because the polish is almost that jelly formula, the way that it layers over the hollow glitters makes it look like it's almost like purple and yellow hollow, if you can see what I mean here. It's absolutely stunning. I got full opacity in 2 coats and I couldn't see any visible nail lines, so I'm guessing it's more of a crelly formula, like a little bit more on the cream side. But anyway, just a really beautiful color. Definitely perfect for summer, but I can totally see this being a Christmas color as well. It does dry a little bit on the gritty side, so you want to make sure that you are using a glossy top coat to get the full effect. Next up, we have the shade ERNIE Your Stripes, which is a really beautiful, almost like sherbet pastel kind of orange that has a really intense golden shimmer in it. And that golden shimmer is both in like a very tiny little shimmer as well as almost like a little scattered fleck of gold shimmer in it as well. So it adds this really extra gorgeous depth to it. It was a tiny bit sheer. After 2 coats, I still found it to be pretty patchy on the nails. I did have to do a 3rd coat for full opacity and it still felt a little bit sheer, but I'm pretty sure that's just more of an intentional sheerness. If you want this to be a full coverage color, I could see this being a really beautiful topper over a regular orange polish, just kind of adding a little bit of depth to it. Next up, we have the shade I Believe in Snuffy, and this one is described as a champagne shimmer. For me, it almost felt like a blush pink nude kind of shimmery polish, and again, it's mixed with sort of that tiny bit of shimmer as well as like a larger almost fleck to it, just to kind of give the polish an extra sparkle and depth. It was a tiny bit streaky. It did feel like it had a little bit of a pearlized finish going on there, but once it dried, it did not look streaky at all, and it was really beautiful. Again, I did get full coverage in 2 coats. If you've got long nails, you might need a 3rd. Next up, we have the shade BEAK on Fleek, and I was so excited for this polish. It is a super stunning bright yellow and it dries to a matte finish. I love that China Glaze does the matte finish polishes in their collection because you guys know I love matte finish polishes, but oh man, this one was so sheer. I ended up doing 4 coats to get full opacity and it was still super patchy. You can see this is on the 2nd coat. When it's wet, it almost looks like it's gonna be fully opaque, but then once it dries down to that matte finish, you like start to see patches coming through on your nail, and it was so disappointing. I feel like China Glaze does have a few good yellow formulas, but this one was just not doing it for me. I ended up actually throwing on a 5th coat just to show you guys, and also just because I was super curious and I was like, what do I have to do to get this color to be fully opaque? But yeah, this is 4 coats just so you can see really quickly, and it almost seems like it's good, but you can still see a little bit of patchiness near my cuticle area. So here's the 5th coat, and honestly, it did not do the trick. So I'm super sad about this because I was most excited about this color and I just found it to be kind of a disappointment. There's no way I'm ever gonna do a 5 coat nail polish manicure. That's just way too much for me, but I'm hoping I can find another use for it. Next up, we have the shade Trash Can Do Attitude, and this one is described as being a green silver metallic. To me, it felt more like a greenish gold shimmery metallic. This one was another super streaky one and it was pretty sheer. I did end up needing 3 coats for full coverage just because it did get a little little bit patchy. I do think this is a really gorgeous color. I found that it was a little bit prettier in the bottle. I'm wondering if this might actually be pretty cool over a black, but honestly, even the way that it looks, I still love it on the nails. You guys know how much I love green nail polishes. I might be a little bit biased because I feel like I need more, so maybe I'm just making excuses for this color, but I do think it's really beautiful, and I love that golden shimmer that comes through in it. I just think it looks really nice on the nails. Next up we have the shade Free to Be Sesame, and this is actually a really interesting one. This is a beautiful emerald green jelly that has a scattered holographic glitter throughout it. This actually kind of reminded me of the Cirque Colors Facets collection polishes, but instead of being little flecks that are irregular, this is just a glitter. So it's not exactly a dupe, but it definitely has the same kind of feel if you're looking for something similar that's less expensive. The holographic shimmer in it is not as bright, but it still looks really nice, and I think this is another great holiday polish, but just really beautiful all around. And I got full opacity in 2 coats for this color. Next up we have Dat Color Dough. Sorry, I was just dying to say it like that. But yeah, this is a blue metallic glitter topper. I ended up showing you guys what it looks like as a full coverage glitter just because I was curious. In the promo photos and actually in the bottle, it looked like it was going to be a lot brighter of a blue. It ended up to me looking more like a metallic sort of silvery blue, but I still think that is super beautiful. You can definitely pair this over any color, or you can wear it on its own as a full coverage glitter. It did take me 3 coats, but you can always sponge it on if you want to do that in less coats. Another just really beautiful shade, a little bit different from in the bottle, but I still like it a lot. Next up we have the shade Grow Over It, which is described as a dark blue holographic. This is another jelly that has that scattered holographic sparkle in it, but this one is not at all like the Facets collection or like the other holographic shade in this collection. This one actually has a little bit of a shimmer in the base as well, so even though it is a jelly, once you get it to full coverage, it does not have that jelly-like feel to it or that jelly look. It kind of just looks like it is a full coverage glitter, and again, I don't know why I'm feeling such holiday vibes from these colors, but this one feels like such a Hanukkah color. I cannot get over it. It's very beautiful. This was 2 coats. If you have long nails, you might need to throw on a 3rd though. Next up we have the shade I Can't Even, which is a purple jelly, and I saw a lot of reviews for this one before I got the collection, and a lot of people were super disappointed, but I gotta say, I am 100% on board the jelly train this summer and pretty much from now on, because wow, I love this. You can honestly decide how much coverage you want. It is extremely sheer, I will tell you that, but with 1 coat, it just looks like your nails look nice. With 2 coats, it's a very, very subtle color, and I ended up going with 3 coats. You can honestly keep going if you want. I think this is going to be amazing for nail art, but I feel like this is just a nice palette cleanser. Like, how beautiful does this look right now? It's so pretty. Next up, we have the shade Amazing. Sorry, I keep saying these weird. I'm excited about the names. I don't know if you guys can tell. Anyway, this is a purple metallic shade, and to me, this color just straight up looks like silk. I don't know how they did it. It's very beautiful. It does have that pearlized finish, so it's gonna be super streaky. I did get full opacity actually in 1 coat, but because it was so streaky, I did have to do a 2nd thin coat just to make the streaks look a little bit nicer and a little bit more even on my nails. Again, a really gorgeous color. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea to have these sort of streaky pearlized polishes, but it is definitely right up my alley, so I really like this one too, and I think it's going to be great for stamping. Next up we have the shade Monsterpiece, and this is basically a pink version of the shade Grow Over It. It is a really beautiful hot pink jelly that has the holographic little shimmer in it, and this one does also have a shimmer in the jelly base, which makes it look a little bit more opaque and definitely gives it a different feel. So I did get full opacity in 2 coats. I found that these 2 shades were actually super opaque. Like I said, you might need a 3rd if your nails are long, but honestly, I couldn't see any visible nail line at all, so these really didn't feel like very typical jellies to me, but they still are a really exciting and unique finish. And last but certainly not least, we have the shade For Real Though, and this is described as a hot pink cream, and that is a very accurate description. In the 1st coat, I did find it to be a little bit sheer, but on the 2nd coat, I did get full opacity. It does have a little bit of that jelly-like vibe to it, but I still ended up getting full opacity. It might be more of like a crelly-like formula. This color, as neons tend to be, was hard to capture on camera. I know it sometimes looks a little cool toned, but I can assure you guys it was a very warm toned. So another great shade, a great summer color, and a great way to round out this super colorful collection of different colors. Alright, so those are the swatches. Honestly, overall, I love them. I was a little disappointed in the yellow just because it didn't have that full opacity, and I really love wearing yellow nail polishes, and you guys know I love matte nail polish, so I was pretty disappointed that it's not something I can wear for full coverage, but I still think I can have a use for it. So these polishes are available wherever China Glaze is sold. I will put some links down below to Ulta and Sally Beauty, which are the two that come to mind. Real quick, one last thing about the You Do Hue collection. The bottles in this collection, the caps, all have little like Sesame Street characters on them. They don't match the nail polishes, but they're still very cute nonetheless. But yeah, I would love to know your thoughts on this collection. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy my swatch and review videos. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I don't always wear weird shirts like this. I usually dress normal, but I bought this shirt and I can't return it, so I feel like I gotta wear it. Alright, that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye! Alright, fun fact. This is actually something interesting that I don't think I've ever mentioned before. When I was in college, I lived in gender-neutral housing. So in my particular dorm room, I lived with one guy and two girls. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. It kind of felt the same as, you know, living at home with a brother. And then actually, more recently, when I lived in my apartment before this, I lived with two male roommates. So yeah, I don't think it was a very weird experience. People are always really scandalized by it. They're like, wasn't it messy? Weren't they gross? But I feel like male roommates tend to be a little bit cleaner than female roommates. So I don't know, it's kind of a wash. It didn't really make a difference to me. But yeah, that's my weird fun fact for today. Alright, I'll talk to you later. Bye!